Welcome to class 8th. Our very first chapter in science is agriculture management. As we all are being aware that human beings are heterotrophs, which means that we are dependent on plants and animals for our nutrition requirement. So basically, here to fulfill that particular need, we are growing plants and rearing animals, and that is called your agriculture. So, agriculture means growing plants and rearing animals for the food requirement of the human being. But there is another word mentioned known as your management. Why there is a need of management with agriculture? Basically, our population is increasing, which puts a pressure on the food products. And to maintain that continuity of food products, we have to enhance our productivity. So, we have to put some modern techniques in our agricultural fields so that we get that continuity or we can maintain that continuity of our food products. So, all these things which can help to fulfill the requirement of human beings is going to be mentioned here in this chapter. So, first of all comes a crop. What is a crop? When only a single type of plant grown in a huge area, then it is a crop. Crop may be of some fiber crop or maybe a grain crop or a food crop. In India, there are basically three seasons, and according to the seasons, we are having three types of crop. First one, Rabi crop, also known as your winter season crop. Second, Kharif crop, also known as your monsoon season crop. Third, Zaid crops, also known as your summer season crop. We are taking them one by one. First is your Rabi crop. Rabi, also known as your winter season crop. The plants of this crop are generally sown in November and harvested in April. So, the main examples of Rabi crop are wheat, barley, pea, and gram. Second type of crop is your Kharif crop, also known as your rainy season or monsoon season crop. Plants are generally grown or sown in June and harvested in October. So the main examples of Kharif crop are rice, maize, cotton and groundnut. Third type of seasonal crop of India is Zaid crop. The plant of Zaid crops are generally sown in March and harvested in June, and the examples of summer crop are cucumber, watermelon and bitter gourd. Now there are some particular steps to be followed in the agriculture. So these steps are known as your agricultural activities also. We call them crop production practices also. So first is your plowing, then sowing of seeds, providing manure or fertilizers, after that irrigation, crop production, harvesting, threshing and storage. The main purpose of these activities is to enhance the yield of the crop. First is your plowing. To turn the soil up and down and loosen it by use of a plow is called your plowing. The main sources of plowing are animals and tractor. So the traditional method is done by the animals, and today's modern method is done with the help of tractor. So what is the benefit of plowing? As we are turning the soil up and down, it mixes the soil with each other. So the first benefit of plowing is seeds reaches below the uppermost layer, which makes its germination easy. As the seed goes into the soil, so it germinate in the soil. Second, roots get easily penetrate, they goes inside the soil easily, so it helps with the help of the plowing, it done easily. Third, roots easily respire because there is some air spaces get trapped in between the loosened soil, so they get respire easily. Fourth one, loosened soils also activates the bacterial growth or the microbial growth or the living organism which lives inside the soil, so it also helps in increasing the nitrogen level of the soil. And the last one, as we all are being aware that topsoil is the good soil or the fertile soil which helps in the germination. So when we are mixing the upper soil and the lower soil with each other, it evenly distributed and plants can grow easily in it. Now, what are the tools we are using for the plowing? So first one is your plow, which is done with the help of the animals, and the second one is the cultivator, which is being used with tractor. Next step of the agriculture practices is sowing. Sowing means planting seeds or putting a little bit of soil over the seed is called your sowing. Before sowing, there are some procedures which are done by the farmers for the selection of the good seeds so that they can enhance their yield, or we can say to increase the productivity of the yield. So what they do, they take a beaker, put water inside it and soak the seeds inside that water. By putting them for a time while, for a meanwhile, they observe that some seeds start floating over the beaker and some get settled down at the beaker. The floating seeds are the damaged one, and the settled seeds are the good seeds. So what they do, they remove their damaged seeds from the beaker and use the settled seeds in the field to germinate. So here is also some techniques they are using for the sowing purposes or to fasten the process of sowing. So there is two pics are given you. First one showing you how they are using a bulls or oxes to sow the seeds, and the second one is there is a machine known as your seed drill is used by the farmers to sow the seeds in the field. So the main purpose of this method is to enhance the speed of the sowing so that they they can save their time. Next comes that adding or providing manures and fertilizers to the soil. Why there is a need? Basically, we are doing, we are growing crops again and again in the soil without giving it any time to resecure, or we can say to enrich it by themselves. So we are providing it nutrients in an artificial manner so that the fertility of the soil get managed. So for that purpose, what we are adding some fertilizers and biomanures. So what is the difference between fertilizer and a biomanure? Fertilizer is an inorganic salt which is generally generated or make in a factories, whereas manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung, human waste and plant residue, and we prepared it easily in our fields also. Second, fertilizer doesn't provide any humus to the soil, whereas biomanure is having a good content of humus inside it. Last one, fertilizers generally rich in NPK, N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus and K for the potassium, whereas biomanures are not rich in these salts. They containing the organic matter which enhances the, or we can say which enrich the soil fertility in a natural way. So why we prefer biomanures as compared to the fertilizer? First thing, manure is capable to reorganize the cell. Second, it speeds up the bacterial growth in the soil. Third, it keeps the soil loosened so that the roots can respire and penetrate easily into the soil. And the last one, biomanure also hold the water, which helps in holding capacity of the water in the soil. So that is why we are using biomanures instead of fertilizers. After providing or after enriching the soil fertility, what we are doing, we are irrigate our fields. Irrigation means the process by which the plant requirement of water requirement of plant is fulfilled by time to time using various artificial means. Generally, what are the sources of irrigation? We are having the river, canals, or we are having a pond, lakes, or groundwater we are using. So here are some traditional methods and the modern methods which we are using to irrigate our fields. So firstly, I am telling you some traditional methods like Dekli, chain pumps, moat and rat are the traditional methods which are used to irrigate the fields in earlier time. Nowadays, As the time is being changed and there is a scarcity of water, we have enhanced our irrigation techniques, like with the help of drip irrigation and the sprinkle irrigation. Sprinkle is kind of a fountain in which we are spraying the water from the having some nozzles over it, which spray it in a form of fountain. Whereas drip irrigation, there is a pipe is being laid down in the whole field, and by drop, by putting a hole in the pipes at regular intervals, and with the help of those drop by drop, water is being put it directly into the roots of the plant. After irrigation, there is another problems get arised, which comprises the natural circumstances of that area. So now comes the protection of the crop. So first is problem which is faced by the farmers is the weed. What is weed? It is generally an unwanted plant that grow along with the crops and prevent the necessary nutrients from reaching the crop plant. Okay, so there is an example of weed known as your chenopodium. Chenopodium is also known as your bathua in Hindi. So what this plant do, or what this weed do, it generally absorb all the nutrients of the main crop plants, and if the crop plant get deficient from the nutrients, then the yield is also being suffered because of this. So what we have to take a prevention of it, we have to tilling from time to time and use weedicide. Tilling means removing these weeds from the field at regular intervals, and then we can use the weedicides as the chemicals which are used to put into the fields. After the second problem comes some natural disasters like flood, drought, fire. So flood and drought generally remove the topsoil of the field, which again reduces the fertility of the soil, whereas fire also get damage the whole crop plants. So what kind of preventions we can use? We can provide a proper drainage system, or we can say preparing proper water exits, so that whenever flood comes after 2 or 3 days or after some week, if the flood is of high level, the water get drained out from the field. And if drought conditions come, we have some water storage tanks or some water storage pipelines are should be available, so that we can irrigate our fields in some artificial manner. And the last one, preparation from the preventing of fire. Firstly, as there is a saying that prevention is better than cure, so we have to prevent a fire to be caused in our field. Next problem is arise due to some diseases caused by the insects, fungus, bacteria and virus. And what they cause, they generally deform the leaves, dry our stem, damage our fruits, and in return what it happens, it lowers the yield. So what we have to do, we have to spray insecticides, bactericides and fungicides at regular intervals, so that we can prevent our crop plants from these kind of diseases. And the last are the animals which generally damage our crops by eating it. So what we have to do, we have to prevent fencing, so that animals couldn't able to come into our field. After protecting our field or our protecting our crops from such kind of problems, now there is the time comes when the whole crop is get ripened up. So the process of cutting the ripened crop from the field is called your harvesting. Generally it is being done with the help of sickle, or nowadays we are using the harvester machine. The main purpose of harvester machine is the what, time saving. So basically it saves our time and fasten up the process of harvesting. After harvesting come the threshing. Threshing is the process of separating grains from the chaff. What is a chaff? Chaff is the dry part of the plant and the seed. When the chaff and the grain are being removed both from each other, that is called your threshing. Earlier it is being done with hands, and nowadays we are using a combined threshing machine which is performing three functions: reaping, threshing and winnowing. That it is separating the grain from the chaff part. Also winnowing means that it is also removing other dried part or the drying or some kind of dust materials from the grains, and we get the uh, cleaned formed of grains by this machine. When we are having all the seeds in our hand, then we are on the last step, that is called your storage, which means that we are storing our grains into the large scale storehouses, which are called as your silos. After all this, now comes what is the relation between the crop and the environment. As crop is a plant, so it also affect good on the environment. Firstly, clean the environment, maintain the humidity of that particular area. It also maintain the ratio of carbon dioxide and oxygen, regulate the surrounding temperature, avoid soil erosion, control noise pollution and other pollutions, and it also provide or protect animals and their life also, because there are many wild animals like rat, snake, and other animals which are dependent on these plants also. Now there is a professor known as Mr. M.S. Swaminathan, who had a great contribution in the Green Revolution of India. Actually, he was born in Tamil Nadu, and in 1966 he hybridized Mexican wheat seed with the variety of Punjab wheat seed and generate a high yielding wheat seed and rice seed, which makes India a self-dependent in food grains. And this is the main contribution of Professor M.S. Swaminathan. So here is the end of the chapter. Thank you, students.